Yes, sir. Except for my first last name.
Hi, what's your name, please, sir?
Pull it on the house.
Repeat that one more time, please.
Desmond Kegler.
Thank you, Mr. Kegler. I'm sorry, I've got bad audio today. All right, this is case number 210-575-8401, People of the State of Michigan versus Desmond Ellis Kegler. Counsel.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. 43574. On behalf of Mr. Kegler, we waive the formal reading and plead not guilty.
Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived and enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Do you have an argument as to bond?
Absolutely, Your Honor. Your Honor, I've been in contact since this incident happened. Your Honor, I apologize for that. I've been in contact with the police since this incident happened. They released him to me about 3 weeks ago. I was informed a warrant was issued. I unfortunately drove him to the DDC last night at 11 o'clock to self-surrender. I don't believe a high bond would be necessary. He has shown that he appears when requested. Your Honor, he works on cars at the wrong place at the wrong time. That's why he released 4 weeks ago, and that's why he turned himself in.
All right, thank you. Defendant self-surrendered. That tells me he's not a flight risk. These are non-assaultive allegations, and there are no priors whatsoever that I can see. I don't determine him to be a danger to the community. We are still in the pandemic. For those reasons, I am setting a personal bond in the amount of $10,000. $10,000 personal bond. The next court date will be July 2nd in front of Judge King. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Simon, what are you here on?
Brittany King is at DDC.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, Brittany Tannehill.
Okay, that on the female side, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, all right. They're not ready to put us over there yet. We're probably going to be about 15 minutes before we get over there.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Why is my audio so bad today?
Man. Your Honor, you said you're ready to start from the DDC?
We can go straight down the list, is that correct? Okay, yep, we can go on down the list.
Copy that.
Great. Hi, what's your name, please?
My name is Walker.
Okay, Mr. Walker, before I arraign you on your felony charge, you have a court date that you missed in a traffic misdemeanor case. It was just a review date. That tells me you started dealing with the ticket already. You need to finish it out. It's technically a misdemeanor. That means you can face up to 93 days in jail and/or a $500 fine. Doesn't mean that's what will happen in your case. You have the right to remain silent. You're being recorded. Anything you say could be used against you in the future. And you have the right to an attorney on future proceedings on this ticket. If you can't afford one will be provided for you on or before your next court date. The ticket is ticket number 233659. Here, the government alleges that you were driving without an operator's license on your person. As I said, you did start dealing with this ticket at one time, so now it's just set for a review date. They allege that happened on July the 13th of 2017 in the area of Goddard and Davison. Your review date on this is July the 15th, 2021. You're getting a personal bond on this, and you're going to be in front of Judge Davis on this one, all right? Then we'll move on to case number 210-5863101. People of the State of Michigan versus Martez Keon Walker, counsel. Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived and enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Let me ask you this. Was your client in the MDOC for some period? I'm asking because he is listed as a fourth habitual offender. But those are all, and he has a number of priors, quite frankly, but they all seem to have originated in 2013, as if he was just going through a bad spot in 2013, and I have nothing else. So that was my curiosity.
And that's all I have is the 2013.
Okay. So, I mean, it's one thing if he just got out of the MDOC. It's another if he's been out and he's been doing what he needs to do.
Yes, I know that he's been on track with probation.
Okay, thank you. All right. All right, so we waive formal reading. We stood your client mute. I'll hear your argument as to bond.
He is 26 years old, Your Honor, lifelong resident. He is trying to start a new job. He missed an interview just yesterday at a job. I am respectfully asking the court to consider a personal bond.
Okay, thank you. One moment, please. So he was in the MDOC at some time. He was discharged from MDOC supervision. I'm assuming that's the parole supervision in 2017. He then picked up something for receiving concealing stolen property in 2019. He was sentenced in 2019 in Macomb County, received a maximum of 2 years. I'm assuming that's the sentence he's on probation for right now. All right. All right. So, initially I was impressed that perhaps he was having a period of not offending. I don't really see that to be the case. He gets off supervision in 2017. He's picked something else up in 2019. He's still on probation for that, and now he's got this. Don't say anything, sir. You have the right to remain silent. Nevertheless, I don't really see much of an assaultive nature in terms of this particular allegation. In terms of the priors, I don't see anything assaultive since 2013. So it's been quite a bit of time. So I don't think he's an overall danger to the community. He sounds like he's got some good community ties, and that I don't need to be concerned that he's a flight risk. All right. So I'm aware of those things going on with him, but I am considering them and setting a personal bond in the amount of $50,000. It's a fairly high personal bond. That's because, we're going to make sure that he gets to his next court date. And that means you don't have to pay to get out of jail today, sir. It's a $50,000 personal bond. That means you don't have to pay to get out of jail today. But if you violate the conditions of the bond, you're going to find yourself locked up without the ability to get out, very likely. $50,000 personal bond. Next court date is going to be on June the 30th. June 30th in front of Judge Archer. Thank you.
Let me see your wristband. Where the hell you at, bro? White, black, face, your first question.
Hi, what's your name, please?
Michael Vidal.
Next man after my mask. Come down, folks.
All right, Mr. Vidal. This is case number 210-586-3001. People versus Michael Vidal, counsel.
Just strive on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Michael Vidal, who waives formal reading, understands his constitutional rights and standards.
Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived and enters a not guilty plea on Mr. Vidal's behalf. These are serious charges. Do you have an argument as to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 36 years old, lifelong resident of Detroit. Has no assault prior criminal conviction. He is disabled, Your Honor, so he has clean up odd jobs, whatever he is able to do, Your Honor, not on probation or parole. Lives with his grandma. Your Honor, my understanding is that, this was his birthday party. A lot of people were there, and then somebody tried to come into the house, and then, Your Honor, next thing he knew, he was being arrested. So, I believe my client is going to be able to resolve this matter. I'm respectfully asking the court to consider a personal bond here. He doesn't have any assaulted prior criminal convictions. He understands the no contact order. He does not live with a complaining witness. So I'm asking for a personal bond.
Thank you. All right. So I'm clear, you're saying that he is denying these allegations.
Correct.
Okay. He is denying the allegations. He still does have the presumption of innocence. It does sound like, in terms of what was going on, that everyone was pretty significantly altered, perhaps following a birthday party, such that we don't know how reliable the testimony will be. In the end, that is one of the things that I do consider in terms of likelihood of conviction when I'm setting bond. I am balancing those things. I am also considering the fact that he has no priors whatsoever. I don't even, I'm sorry, there is a prior, but that prior is non-assaulted from 2014. So I don't think that he presents a danger to the community, nor do I think there's a flight risk here. I am going to set a personal bond in this case. It will be a high personal bond because I do want my no contact order adhered to. It is going to be a personal bond in the amount of $150,000. That means you don't have to pay to get out of jail today, sir, but you do have to adhere to my bond conditions, the most important of which at this time is going to be my no contact order. There is to be no contact with the complainant. That means no verbal contact, no written contact, no contact through third parties or social media. Any attempt at contact with the complainant will be considered a violation of the conditions of the bond. As there is to be no contact through third parties, you should also be aware that that does also extend to the complainant's roommate or sister, the person references witness number 2, who it says that she was threatened as well in this case. So there is to be no contact with either of those individuals. Next court date is going to be July the 2nd. July the 2nd, and that's going to be in front of Judge King. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. There's this one. Sorry. Hi, what's your name, please?
Malone.
All right, Mr. Malone. This is case number 210-577-6301, People of the State of Michigan versus Shamar Mikkel Malone, counsel.
Just chat on behalf of Mr. Malone, who is formal reading, understands his constitutional rights and stands.
Thank you, counsel. Court notes formal reading has been waived. Enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. I do note that the date of the offense in this case is January 28th of 2021. There's been quite a bit of time that's gone by. I also note that there are no priors except for one non-assaultive offense in 2019. I don't think there is a danger to the community here. Does your client have community ties?
Yes, you're a lifelong resident and has been working at Detroit Axle. And lives with his mom, and he's got 2 sons in the area. He's got family ties.
Okay, very good. Given the residence ties, the familial ties, the work ties, I don't think there's a flight risk here. I'm going to set a personal bond in the amount of $20,000, $20,000 personal bond. The next court date is going to be on June 30th, in front of Judge Jefferson. All right, thank you.
Yeah. No.
Hi, what's your name, please? All right, Mr. Booker, this is case number 210-569-6401, People of State of Michigan versus Demerick Jarrell Booker, counsel.
Mr. Chairman, we have Mr. Booker, who is formal reading and understands the constitutional rights and standards.
Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived and enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. I do note that this is a non-assaultive offense, and there are 2 priors. However, those are both non-assaultive, involving the possession of marijuana, which is now legal. So I am considering that in terms of any danger to the community. I do not see a danger to the community here. Does your client have community ties?
Yes, Your Honor, lifelong resident of Detroit, is employed and lives in Scotland.
All right, I'm setting a personal bond in this case because I do not see a danger to the community. There are community ties such that I do not see a flight risk. I'm setting bond in the amount of $10,000 personal, $10,000 personal bond. The next court date will be June 30th in front of Judge Archer. Thank you.
You are fair.
Thank
Annette?
Hi, what's your name, please?
you.
I'm sorry, one more time, please, a little louder.
Wesley Hickman.
Thank you, Mr. Hickman. This is case number 210-576-6501, People versus Leslie Hickman, counsel.
Mr. Chairman, we have Senator Griffin, who is formal reading and understands the constitutional rights and standards.
Thank you, counsel. Court notes formal reading has been waived and enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. I do note that this does not involve assaultive contact or assaultive allegations at all. There are also no priors whatsoever in front of me. I do not see any danger to the community here. Does your client have community ties?
Yes, he is 61 years old, lifelong resident of Detroit, has a daughter, and he's been here his whole life, Your Honor. I'm respectfully asking the court.
Thank you. One moment, please. Okay, thank you. All right. I was informed that Mr. Hickman is on probation out of Third Circuit Court. However, I do not. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Nope. I don't have any prior felony convictions in front of me at all with respect to Mr. Hickman. So perhaps it was pled to a misdemeanor. I don't know, but I don't have any felony convictions in front of me for the record, although I have been told that he is on probation. All right, that does not change my bond decision. Thank you for that. $5,000 personal, June 30th, in front of Judge Jones. You're all done, sir. $5,000 personal. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Come on, guys.
Hi, what's your name, please?
CR134 Jr.
Am I missing a file still? Hold on. Mr. Boykins. Hold on. Oh, I've got a whole bunch of other files over here. One moment, sir. Okay, Mr. Boykins, this is case number, well, before I do that, you've got a traffic ticket, traffic misdemeanor where you missed a court date. It's a misdemeanor technically. That means you can face up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fine. Does not mean that's what will happen in your case. But I do need to advise you of this ticket, which was, they alleged that on April the 3rd of 2015 in the area of Linden in Wyoming that you drove while your license was not valid or with an improper license. You're getting a personal bond on this ticket. Your next court date is going to be July 15th, 2021, and you're going to be in front of Judge Williams on that ticket. You do have the right to an attorney on the ticket. If you can't afford one, one will be provided for you on or before your next court date. With respect to the next matter, preliminary examination was missed. At that time, a cash surety bond was issued in the amount of $10,000. This is Judge King. I understand that $10,000 or less gets a second look. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, we did speak to Judge King, and we were given permission to change it to a personal
Okay, very good. Thank you for that. Which is this one is case number 20061744401, People versus Robert Carroll Boykins. Counsel, thank you. We just discussed. I'm sorry, we're waiving formal reading, standing a client mute.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Court notes formal reading has been waived and enters a not guilty plea on his behalf. Thank you for advising me that you did speak with Judge King. Judge King did give permission to convert this to a personal bond, what he previously set as a $10,000 cash surety bond. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Were there any other conditions that he wished to place in the bond order?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Then, given my understanding of the case, this is a CCW, meaning it is non-assaultive. Given my determination that there is no danger to the community and that there is not likely to be a risk of flight here, I am setting bond in the amount of $10,000. We know that he is a person who is tied to the area because he's got a prior ticket from some years ago. So I don't think there's a flight risk here. I think he just needs to get back on track dealing with this case. $10,000 personal bond. Next court date will be July the 2nd in front of Judge King. Can't purchase or possess any firearms or other dangerous weapons during the course of the bond sale. Thank you. Hi, what's your name, please? Mr. Mims? Are you Mr. Mims, sir?
Smith.
I can't hear you. Speak up, please.
Smith, Mr. Smith, Ryan Smith.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Thank you. All right, Mr. Smith, you have some traffic misdemeanor matters where you miss court dates. When you miss court dates, the judges assigned to those cases issued warrants and they set bonds. You're going to get personal bonds on these tickets today. You just need to make sure that you appear for the next court date. You'll be able to deal with them all on the same court date in front of the same judge. They are technically misdemeanors, which means you can face up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. It doesn't mean that's what will happen in your case. It's the maximum possible penalty for most misdemeanors in the state. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say could be used against you in the future. In addition, you have the right to counsel on these tickets. If you can't afford one, one will be provided for you on or before your next court date. The first ticket is ticket number 124255505. They alleged on November 1, 2012, in the area of Sussex and Finkel, that you drove without an operator's license on your person and that you possessed open intoxicants in the motor vehicle. Again, personal bond. And then ticket number 12, that's a duplicate. Hold on. Ticket number X1206624. They allege that on December 12th of 2013, you were engaged in, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. On this one, you also have a personal bond. On all of these, you're going to be in front of the same judge, Judge Blount, on July 15th, 2021. All right, you've got personal bonds on all of those. Then we'll turn to case number 210-565-0501. People of the State of Michigan versus Brian Martell Smith. Counsel.
On behalf of Senator Smith, who is former reading of the constitutional rights and
Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived and enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. I'll hear your argument as to bond.
Mr. Smith is 41 years old, lifelong resident of Michigan, lives with his grandfather, has 4 kids, Your Honor, is employed at Facilitech. He does get his GED, Your Honor. I respectfully ask the court to consider a personal bond here. I believe his last marriage was in 2011, so it's been over 10 years, Your Honor, and I believe it was non-assaulted.
Thank you. One moment, please. Okay, this case involves allegations that in what was essentially began as a domestic type dispute, that the defendant fired multiple shots inside the house where the complainant was located, where she thought she was shot in the foot, then purportedly stood over her firing another shot. When police arrived to the location, they did in fact find shell casings inside of the residence and damage to the floor, lending some credibility to the allegations that that firearm was fired, as the complainant stated it was. That, I think, poses a real danger to the community. I do know that the last conviction is actually that I can see for felony is from 2020, and that is for malicious destruction of fire or police property in 2020. Prior to that, I'm showing 2008 and 2001 non-assaultive. Priors generally are non-assaultive. However, I do have this gun allegation, shooting allegation, and damage to the floor that was found. I will note also that the complainant was transported to the hospital. She did leave the hospital purportedly before retrieving treatment. However, they did arrive and determined that she did at least need to be transported to the hospital and might need that treatment, although she did not get it. I'm considering all of those things and evaluating whether there is a danger to the community here, which I do think there is. I'm going to set bond for that reason in the amount of, I'm going to set this at $100,000. $100,000, 10%. All right. Given the nature of these allegations, I am including a no contact order here. There is to be no contact with the complainant if he's able to make the bond. That means no verbal contact, no written contact, no contact through third parties or social media. Any attempt at contact with the complainant will be considered a violation of the conditions of the bond. In addition, I am going to require a GPS tether if he's able to make the bond, so that we can be sure he is staying away from the complainant to the extent possible, just to so that we know where he is if he's able to make that bond. So if he's able to make the $100,000 10% bond, he will have to wear a GPS tether so that we're able to track his location. All right.
You gotta get working.
That's it. Next court date is going to be June the 21st is the probable cause conference. After that, he certainly has the right to a preliminary examination on June 28th. Both of those are going to be in front of Judge Jones. And again, no contact or attempted contact with Tia Smith. Thank you.
Go back down. Step on the white black line. See your first and last name. Put that mask up your nose and mouth. Appreciate you, boy.
Hi, what's your name, please?
Ryan Mims, M-I-M-S.
Okay, Mr. Mims. Thank you, Mr. Mims. You've got a traffic misdemeanor where you missed a court date. Judge assigned to that case, issued a warrant, set a bond. We're going to set it aside today. Get your personal bond on the ticket. Make sure you don't miss court. You do have the right to remain silent. You're being recorded. Anything you say could be used against you in the future. You also have the right to an attorney on future proceedings on this ticket. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be provided for you on or before your next court date. This is technically a misdemeanor. That means the maximum possible penalty you face is up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. The ticket is ticket number P10455166. Government alleges that on December the 1st of 2019, in the area of Gratiot Avenue and Georgia Street, that you drove an unregistered vehicle and that you did not have insurance. The next court date on that ticket is going to be on July the 9th, and it's going to be in front of Judge Wagner. Now we'll move on to case number 190-464-0201, People versus Brian Eric Mims, counsel. Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived. Enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. You have an argument as to bond.
Mr. Mims is 37 years old, lifelong resident of Detroit, unemployed at this moment, no priors to my knowledge. This incident, Your Honor, appears to be allegedly from September 2019. So it does have age to it. He was never arraigned on this matter. I request that the court to consider it personal.
Okay, thank you, counsel. All right. Given the age of the case, I don't determine there to be any risk to the community here, given that I have no intervening events that I'm aware of. In addition, sounds like there are community ties. Although he's unemployed, there are some community ties here. And this is charged as a misdemeanor. For all of those reasons, I'm going to set a personal bond in the amount of $20,000. $20,000 personal bond. The next court date is going to be in front of Judge Garrett, and it's going to be on June 30th, 2021. There is a no contact order in this case with Kimberly Anderson. There is to be no verbal contact, no written contact, no contact with third parties or social media. Any attempted contact with that individual will be considered a violation of the conditions of the bond. All right? Thank you. Thank you, sir. You're all done. Sorry about that, Mr. Simon. I got more files after I told you 15 minutes, but we're getting to the end of them. We'll hop over to the female side.
That's it.
That's it for the males. Who do we have? I have a Keith Hurd, or oh nope, I've got Brittany. That's on the female side, and Brittany, that's who you're here on, Mr. Simon, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll see you on the female side. Okay, we'll get you on. 101. I never heard from Division 1. Hi, DDC. Can I get Brittany Tannehill first, please? Could I get Ms. Tannehill first? She has retained counsel. Mr. Simon, can I get your P number while we're waiting for her, please?
35596.
35996.
No, Your Honor, 35596.
596. Okay. Yeah, 35596. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hello. I'm good. Can we do Miss Tannehill first? Her counsel's been waiting a bit.
Copy that.
Hi, what's your name, ma'am? All right, thank you. This is case number 1-806-06-7702. People of the State of Michigan versus Brittany Tannehill. Counsel.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jonathan Simon, P35596 on behalf of Ms. Tannehill.
Thank you. And are we waiving formal reading and standing client mute?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Court notes formal reading has been waived. Enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. I'll hear your arguments as to bond. I'm a little, I'll tell you, I've got a mid in front of me indicating that the co-defendant was given a $10,000 cash bond in this case, but please go ahead with your bond arguments.
Your Honor, this is a 2018 case. It's non-assaultive in nature. I see no record of any prior criminal convictions. Apparently she has had no contact in the last 2.5 years since this not in custody warrant came about. I do know that she has strong community ties. I know her parents. I've handled some traffic matters for her sister. I do not believe she is a risk of flight, that she will appear as directed. We believe that a personal bond would be appropriate under the circumstances.
All right, thank you. There are no priors here that I can see, so I don't have a concern about community safety. The majority of the complaint and warrant in this case are dedicated to her co-defendant, so I'm understanding why he would have a bond set in the way that he did. However, it looks like with respect to Ms. Tannehill, she is charged with only one count of operating a chop shop, which is non-assaultive. She's got no priors. I don't think she's a danger to the community. Sounds like from you, counsel, that she's got very strong community ties, that you've known the family and they're here. I don't think she's going to be a flight risk. For all of those reasons and the fact that we are still in this pandemic, I am going to give a personal bond. I will set a personal bond in the amount of $10,000, $10,000 personal bond. The next court date is going to be June the 30th in front of Judge Archer.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day, sir.
You too.
And thanks for your patience. Thanks for waiting.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Thanks. Thank you. All right, DDC, I had to mute you guys because I couldn't hear the attorney. If you could unmute, please. Hi, could you guys unmute on your end, please, DDC? I'm not able to hear you. Thanks so much. All right, what's your name, ma'am?
Alicia Harvey.
Okay, Ms. Harvey. This is case number 210-584-8801. I'm sorry, before we get to that, I do have a traffic misdemeanor matter, counsel. Ma'am, you have a case where you missed a court date in a traffic misdemeanor matter. Technically, it's a misdemeanor, meaning the maximum possible penalty you face is up to 93 days of jail and or a $500 fine. Doesn't mean that's what will happen in your case. It's the maximum possible penalty. You do have the right to remain silent. You're being recorded. Anything you say could be used against you in the future. In addition, you have the right to an attorney on future proceedings on this ticket. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be provided for you on or before your next court date. This is case number or ticket number U756-14711. The government alleges here that on June 25th of 2011 in the area of Peterson Park, it looks like at Greenfield and Curtis, that they say you were contributing to the delinquency of a minor. On this ticket, you have a personal bond and a next court date of July the 6th in front of Judge Millhouse. You then have ticket number 11605-507, and this one they say that on August the 20th of 2011 at the area of westbound Plymouth and Woodmont that you did not have an operator's license on your person while you were driving. On that one, you have a personal bond, same court date, same judge, Judge Millhouse, July 6, 2021. Then we'll move on to case number 210-584-8801, People versus Alicia Lynette Harvey, counsel.
On behalf of Ms. Harvey, who is formal reading, understands her constitutional rights and stands appeal.
Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived and enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. I'm going to take a moment to review the investigator's report. Would you like to do the same?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you. All right, argument says to bottom.
My client is 40 years old, does receive SSI, is a stay-at-home mom. She's got 6 children, 2 over the age of 18. She understands the no contact order. She 6 of her children live with her. She does suffer from high blood pressure and is on medication for them. Your Honor. She's not employed because of the SSI. Your Honor, this allegedly happened back in January, so it does have a little bit of age to it, almost 6 months. These are allegations. My client has no priors to my knowledge or to my record. I am respectfully asking the court to consider a high personal bond. My client wants to make a support, take care of these matters, put in the kind of allegations. So I am respectfully asking the court for a very high personal bond or the client to give a personal bond to a very nominal bond. My client doesn't have any money. She does get SSI and she is a stay-at-home mom. I understand the court has to consider community safety. She doesn't have any priors, Your Honor, and our allegations.
All right, thank you. This is an interesting case. Client, defendant, the defendant is, I think she's got a date of birth of 1975. Oh, nope, that's the other person. At any rate, I'm trying to see her date of birth. She's 39 years old. She's got no priors at all. That's interesting to me that we find ourselves here with someone with no priors. The other thing that's interesting to me, this is, these are very, very serious charges. According to the investigator's report, the threat to kill and the defendant being captured holding a firearm was captured on cell phone video. However, when I look at the evidence that is going to be presented, I see testimony. What I don't see is anything about there being cell phone video. So the the complainant went to a police station and reported that this happened, reported that there was cell phone video. I have nothing about there actually being any cell phone video of the events. And Ms. Harvey is still presumed innocent at this time. I find it also interesting that given the lack of any reference to the purported cell phone evidence, that this has a purported date of offense on January 20th, 2021, and she's just appearing in front of us for arraignment now, which also makes me very curious about the evidence or lack thereof.
Yes, sir. And if I may add, according to my client, the complaining witness is very abusive and he has prior convictions for assaulting my client.
Is she working?
No, she SSI and she's a stay-at-home mom, and her 12-year-old daughter is on SSI and disabled, so she has to stay home.
All right. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to give a personal bond in this case. I am going to put her on GPS tether, and that tether is going to be full home confinement given the nature of the allegations. Sounds like she's got income that's not reliant upon her needing to leave the house. She's taking care of her children who are in the house. Sounds like at least one of those kids is old enough to go to the store or things like that if that needs to happen. So I am going to give a personal bond. However, this personal bond is set in the amount of $100,000. That means you do not have to pay to get out of jail today, Ms. Harvey. All right? But you do have to follow the conditions of my bond order. There are two things that you've got to do to avoid being locked up without the ability to get out. I can't promise you that the prosecutor won't appeal this bond, quite frankly, given the nature of the charges, but I've made my record about why I'm doing this, and that's because I do not see any reference to any kind of cell phone evidence in the investigator's report, although it was purportedly captured. There's nothing indicating to me that officers, that police, that the prosecutor, that anyone ever viewed any cell phone evidence. I'm considering the background of the case, that there's a dispute about child custody going on. I'm also considering the information from your attorney here that there are prior abuse allegations flowing from the defendant regarding the complainant. All right. So given the seriousness of the allegations, I'm making my record that those are all of the things that are supporting my decision for a personal bond in the amount of $100,000 in this case. The next court date is going to be June 30th in front of Judge Archer. Let me be very clear. There is to be no contact with Wayne Lynch. If you attempt any contact with Mr. Lynch, if you even attempt it, that will be considered a violation of the condition of the bond. You will find yourself locked up, having triggered the $100,000 amount that I have attached to it, very likely. All right. So there is to be no verbal contact, no written contact, no contact through third parties or social media. Any attempt at contact with that individual will be considered a violation of the conditions of the bond. All right. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes. Next, did I do the court date? I'm sorry. Yes, June 30th, Archer.
I was going to ask you before, I'm not sure of the nature of the case and the bond was already rendered, Your Honor, but I was going to ask if it's possible to allow Mr. Harvey to go to have 24 hours to get the GPS covered for, because I know it is taking a few days, but I'm not sure because of the nature of the case that the court would be able to. It's comfortable with just.
I think not in this case. I mean, it sounds like there's at least one other minor in the house who's old enough to be helpful with the other children, given that they were discussing that person's boyfriend living with someone allegedly. So I am going to require that she wait for the tether. Okay. Thank you. All right. Hi. What's your name, please?
Latonya Hickson.
Okay. Thank you. One moment, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Hickson. This is case number 210-568-6701, People of the State of Michigan versus Latonya Patricia Hickson, counsel.
Sharon, we have done Ms. Hickson, who has formal reading, understands her constitutional rights and stands.
Thank you, counsel. Court notes formal reading has been waived. Enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. You have an argument as to bond.
My client is 56 years old, lifelong resident of Detroit, does receive SSI, is on medication for diabetes and mental illness. She is under doctor's care. She does have one.
Hold on one second, counsel. I'm sorry. Madam Clerk, hold that last file, please, before you complete it. I'm going to recall it. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
She does have one child and 5 grandchildren. They all live in Michigan. She's got a lot of family ties, community ties, her age. And respectfully asking the court to consider a personal bond. She is under doctor's care. We still are in a pandemic. And her physical illness would put her at risk for COVID, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, this is a non-assaultive allegation. I am noticing that it is a third offense. That is concerning to me. However, I'm noting that the first one occurred in 1992. Then we have 2015, and now we're to 2021. So there's quite a bit of time occurring between the repetition of this type of non-assaultive offense. I'm considering that in setting my bond. In addition, considering age and health factors in light of the pandemic, and that there seem to be good community ties here, I am going to set a personal bond, right? I'm setting a personal bond in the amount of $50,000, $50,000 personal bond. It's a high enough personal bond, ma'am, because you're not to drink or drive during this bond, all right? Hold on. All right, no driving without a valid driver's license, $50,000 personal bond. Next court date is going to be June the 30th in front of Judge Archer. Thank you. And then DDC, when you have a chance, I'll take Ms. Harvey back up for just a moment. We can keep moving. I just want to make sure I get to see her again before we end. Hi, Ms. Harvey. Okay, counsel, let me ask you, I think you told me that Ms. Harvey has did you say she has a disabled child at home?
Yes, Ms. Harvey, this is your attorney speaking. You indicated that you have a 12-year-old daughter that is on SSI and she's disabled, is that correct?
Yes, she's a special needs child.
So what I will do is, I'm ordering the GPS tether with house arrest, but I am allowing herself, I'm allowing her to present herself within 24 hours of release for placement of that tether, okay?
Yeah, can we just make sure Ms. Harvey understands exactly what that means so she doesn't accidentally violate the order?
All right. So Ms. Harvey, is it still your request that we do it this way, counsel? Okay, all right. Because you have a disabled child at home in need of care, what I'm going to do, I'm requiring that you go on a GPS tether, and that is going to require you to be on full home confinement, okay? It's like house arrest. However, it's been taking a long time for the tethers to get put on, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to allow you to come back to get the tether after you get out. But you have to do that within 24 hours. If you do not do that within 24 hours, I'm doing that so you can get home, check on your children, make sure they're okay, all right? But you must present yourself back for that tether within 24 hours of your release from the jail. Are you clear?
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. All right, that's it. Thank you.
What are the conditions? No drinking, and no.
No, I just changed it. No, just leave it at this.
You want to step on the black line, so the first last name?
All right, one moment, ma'am. All right, you're Ms. Lewis, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. This is case number 210-447-6401, People versus Bianca Lewis, counsel.
Ms. Lewis, wait for more reading, understood her constitutional rights and
Thank you, counsel. Court notes formal reading has been waived. Enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Arguments as to bond.
Ms. Lewis, 26 years old, lifelong resident of Detroit, has no prior criminal convictions to my knowledge, is CNA and is employed at the hospital. She's been there for 2.5 years. She's a high school grad and did get the CNA. She does live alone, understands the no contact order. This is her sister, Your Honor, the complainant is her sister, but she does understand and they do not live together. I'm sorry, I'm also asking the court to consider a personal bond.
All right, thank you. These are both charged as misdemeanors. In terms of danger to the community, I don't see it. Doesn't sound like there's a flight risk given the community ties. I'm setting personal bond in the amount of $10,000. $10,000 personal bond. No contact with Brianna Lewis or Lucas Shirley. That means no verbal contact, no written contact, no contact through third parties or social media. Any attempt at contact will be considered a violation of the conditions of the bond. Next court date is going to be June 30th, 2021. That will be in front of Judge Bryant. Thank you.
Your Honor, can you repeat that court date again, please?
June 30th, 2021, Judge Bryant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ask your first and last name.
Webster.
All right, Ms. Webster, case number 210-586-3301, People versus Deshawn Webster, counsel.
Shadow, you have to question with formal reading, understand her constitutional rights and statutes.
Thank you, counsel. Court notes formal reading has been waived and enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. I do note that this is a non-assaultive allegation. There are no prior convictions in front of me, assaultive or otherwise, that would cause me a concern about danger to the community. Does your client have community ties?
Yes, 30 years old, lifelong resident of Detroit, lives with her 2 daughters, and is in college, has family ties, community ties, are unemployed at this moment, but seeking employment.
Thank you. Based upon the information you've provided, counsel, sounds like there are some community ties. I don't think she's a flight risk. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,500. The next court date is going to be September. $1,500 personal bond, ma'am. You do not have to pay to get out of jail today. You just need to make sure you get to your next court date. Also, you can't purchase or possess any firearms or other dangerous weapons during the course of the bond. The next court date will be September 27th in front of Judge McConico. After that, October 4th in front of Judge Jones. Thank you.
That's right. That's all I have, Your Honor. We'll see you this afternoon.
You don't have an ID, James Christian? Now I'm wondering if that's a male. Oh, sorry. Never mind. All right. That's Division 1. Thank you.
All right.
Have a good one. See you later.